Hello everyone, this is Crafterman, and welcome to another episode of Minecraft Green Plateau. So this episode ends in a 6, so this is a story episode, and today I'm going to be explaining the Civil War. So my subscribers, my fans, they come and go, and a lot of you, I know some of you were, but a lot of you weren't there during Season 2, during the war with Petercraft, the Civil War. So here, I will explain it, and I will do so on a map of the world using Microsoft Paint. Alright, so this was the map of the world at the beginning of Season 2. See, it had all these little dots everywhere, and these were numbered villages. Like, this was Village 13, this was Village 10, this was Village 12, etc. And it was united by the capital here, which is the Green Plateau itself. So yeah, everything was pretty good until Petercraft showed up. So, right away, he pretty much griefed the plateau. So let's put I don't know, a grief mark here. Or maybe let's. I'm sorry, I'm using Paint. I don't have like professional recording software here. All right. So yeah, he griefed the plateau, or at least bombed part of it. So I did the logical thing and I banned him. But since Petercraft's a hacker, he joined right back on, and he gave himself OP privileges, and he built his own plateau really, and called it the Blue Plateau. He did this for quite a while without me knowing about it, really. So let's just make another star thing here. So yeah, it was about like over here, I think, where he built it. Yeah. So this was his plateau. So it was actually another geographic plateau. I'm surprised he actually knew what that was, because he's not very smart. All right, so right over here. So yeah, we both had these two plateaus. One that I knew about, one that I didn't. And it was a few weeks that he just lived here peacefully, and then he came over to my plateau again and threatened to blow all of it up. So we were both opt, so we were in a stalemate. Like, we could both destroy each other's plateaus with like the flick of a command button. I wanted to say the flick of our wrist, but we don't use our wrists in Minecraft. We use buttons, like keyboards. Yeah. Anyway, so I suggested a compromise that we split the world in half between our plateaus. And it seemed like a reasonable compromise, but since he didn't know this world very well, because it wasn't his world, it was mine. What he didn't know was that if you zoom out, the land between our plateaus is like this. So he would only be given like this much, and I'd still have all this, and he'd only really gain 2 villages. So, but anyway, he agreed to the compromise. So thus we drew a line through all this. It was about like, where was it? Here something. Yeah, and just in case you're wondering, yes, this is actually an accurate map of the world. What I did was I took a map wall, and I just like put it onto Paint and then drew all of this over the map wall. So yeah, this is 100% accurate. All right, so I think I'll just make it white so it's easier. So, and a bit thicker. All right, so this was the border between our plateau territories. So this was the Green Plateau's territory, and this was the Blue Plateau's territory. And obviously, all the villages that were in his territory were his. So, yeah, so these became Blue Plateau villages. You know what, let's just make this a bit of a darker shade of blue so you can see this. Alright, so he only had like 2 villages, and I had like, what, 11, I think. This is 11, right? Just assume it is. Yeah, so, yeah, there's 13 in total, so 2 here, 11 here. Anyway, so he got pretty mad, so he kept attacking the plateau over and over again, begging for me to, like, make a reasonable compromise, but I was like, nope, you got ripped off, sorry. So I really should have just given him a bit more land, because Petercraft, he's pretty smart when it comes to destruction, let's just say. So he bombed the plateau a couple more times. I noticed that he never really bombed the plateau directly because the security's too high, but he bombed all the area around it where we get our resources. So yeah, that did not go very well. And another thing he did was he went into Village 10 when we weren't expecting it, and he came fully equipped, diamond armor, and we had no defense. So it was like me, Pinecone, and Sandy and Express that were trying to defend, but we couldn't. He creamed all of us, so that became his village. Oh, wait, I did not mean to do that. That became his village, and yeah, so we lost 1 village in our territory, but we figured as long as we cut him off, he wouldn't be able to get to this village, because it was just an oasis of him in a huge landscape of us. So we didn't know really how he'd get there. So we were pretty confident that he would just give up, but he did not. So we found that we found out later that he was working with Kronos, actually, who is a big adversary in season one. He was communicating him like telepathically from the dead because Kronos was killed by Kabuminator. And speaking of Kabuminator, Kabuminator was a hero in killing Kronos, and he has done a lot of heroic things, but he's done a lot of bad things too. Petercraft convinced Kabuminator to go over to his side, so that was not really good for us because Kabuminator has always been played a huge part in the plateau. So yeah, he turned to Petercraft's side, and Petercraft made him his deputy. And I was a bit jealous, to be honest, because before that, Kabuminator was my deputy, but then he turned to Petercraft's side. So I made Pinecone my deputy, which was a dumb decision, but no, just kidding, she's good. She's still my deputy, actually, because she got re-elected in the deputy election, even though Kabuminator is back on my side. But oops, I spoiled it for all of you. So yes, obviously Petercraft's empire does eventually fall. Spoiler alert. But yeah, I obviously assumed that, or else the Green Plateau wouldn't be here right now. So Petercraft and Kabuminator thought that since Kabuminator turned, why couldn't other people? So they made a plot to turn everyone in my side over to his side. That didn't really work, but they ended up turning quite a few people, and Petercraft invited some of the people he knew. So yeah, the Blue Plateau was to grow pretty big, and one of the ways that they would do this was by recruiting them from the spawn, and Village 13 is also the spawn. That's where the spawn is. And it's the first place that was ever colonized in the world, even before Episode 1. It was like when I first spawned here, I built Village 13. So yeah, other people that would spawn would come here. So us in the Green Plateau, we were pretty worried, because if Petercraft was able to recruit all those new people and like send them over to the Blue Plateau, we'd be dead. So what we did was we moved our forces, and we wanted to stop Petercraft from doing that. So we built a battleship, and well, we kind of just built it on the water, but we went out and we tried to stop Petercraft. So we tried to meet him part way. Like I think, oh yeah, it was around here that the battle took place. So we left the plateau. This is supposed to represent Green Plateau advancement, this arrow thingy. So yeah, we went just around here and all the way over here. And yeah, so we were gonna meet Petercraft's forces here. But then Petercraft knew what we were trying to do, so he just sailed out into the ocean, and he built a ship of his own. So there was a battle here, another battle, and this battle was won by Petercraft because I accidentally nuked myself. Just don't remind me of that, because it's pretty embarrassing. Yeah, Petercraft, I thought he was on our ship, so I tried to place a nuke down to self-destruct and kill Petercraft, but the nuke destroyed our ship. It killed all of us, and Petercraft escaped. So yeah, that was an epic loss for us. So yeah, we lost that battle, so I'm just going to put this as a Petercraft victory. Oh wait. Yeah, so this battle was won by Petercraft, and the spawn was still unprotected. But Petercraft made a mistake then. He thought that before he would send the players onto his side, he would destroy our only military outpost. And our biggest military outpost, besides the Green Plateau itself, was Village 5. So he thought he'd go over there and just destroy that before he invited the people to come over to his side. So what he did was he went back on his boat and sailed out across the ocean. It was quite a long trip, actually. So that's what it took. Took like a week for him to get there. Wait, this is kind of tight squeeze. I should have made this map bigger, but I think he sailed along the coast. I mean, I wasn't there. I didn't read Petercraft's diary, but this is obviously the route he took, because this is the only way to get to Village 5 by boat. So he went through this straight over here into the Wilbur Ocean, and attacked Village 5. I'm happy to say that this was a victory for the Green Plateau, and we nuked him so bad. The battle lasted I think the battle was 3 minutes long. But anyway, it was a victory for us. We nuked him, and yeah, he stood no chance against us. But I have to grab some of this color. You know what? I'm just gonna fill this in. So yeah, this was a victory for us, and his ship was destroyed. So it was kind of hard for him to get the players onto his side. He eventually did it, but it was hard. But the point was, he had pretty much failed to get his recruits over to the Blue Plateau. So we thought what we'd do is we'd try to just attack the Blue Plateau and try to take him out once and for all, because he was unprotected virtually. But that was a mistake, because although we did do significant damage to him, we lost an ally, and that was Esther Tacky. You might notice that, like, there's a whole province named after her, Esterland. Yeah, and she was a very important fighter, but Petercraft, since she was on his side, he was able to ban her, and we haven't been able to get her back. And I think now, if we wanted to, we could have, but we've just lost touch with her. So basically, as far as Minecraft is concerned, Esther Tacky's dead, and yeah, we had like a memorial and everything, because she was like a really important ally. So that was a loss for us. But, so Petercraft was focusing on trying to just destroy the plateau this way by just invading us, but his deputy Kaboominator was a bit smarter, and he knew what to do. Kaboominator thought that he'd weaken the Green Plateau first by taking over all the villages, and then by the time he got to the plateau, we'd have no defense. Now, I must say, kudos to Kaboominator, that was pretty smart. So instead of sailing this way and destroying our military outpost, he would sail this way, and he would march from the west and take over each and every one of these villages. So this came to be known as Kaboominator's March from the West. No, actually, I just made that name up right now. But it's a cool name. It kind of fits, actually. So he went on just a convoy of like mini boats, no battleships, just some boats. So he sailed along the Great Ocean. This part of the map is actually a guess, because I haven't really been here, but Kaboominator has, and he described the landforms to me. Of course, after he turned back to my side. But yeah, so the first place he went to was Village 7. He attacked Village 7. He took it over. And the recruits, they were already at the spawn, so Kaboominator was able to take all of them with him to Village 7. So we lost Village 7, and we knew what Kaboominator was doing, because we spied on them when we figured out their plan, and we knew it was obvious that their next target would be Village 9, and we didn't want them to take that over. So what we did, Mr. 37 was the leader of that village. So me and him, one day, what we did is we covered that village in dirt, actually, so that the Kaboominator wouldn't find it. So we just disguised it as a hill. It was a pretty small village, so we could actually do that. And he never really did find it, so it was just blended in with the land. So yeah, let's just pretend that's invisible. So yeah, Kaboominator never found that village, so he tried to. He tried to go where he thought Village 9 was, and he kind of circled around a bit, but he never found it. So eventually he just gave up and went on attacking the next villages. So then he tricked us. We thought he'd attack Village 11 next, but he looped around and attacked Village 8, and yes, he won that. But then we were prepared, because I had actually been in Village 11 bringing weapons there from Village 5, which we still had. So yeah, we actually would have won, but in the middle of the battle, one of my allies, Aquamarine, turned to the Blue Plateau side in the middle of the battle. Now that is just plain cheap, but nonetheless, we lost that. So yeah, so we had lost like all these villages except for this one, which was still covered in dirt, and he never really invaded these, but there was really nothing we could do. But what Kaboominator did want back was his old village, because before he turned to Petercraft's side, his village was Village 12, and he really wanted that. But when he left the plateau, he couldn't exactly take his village with him, so then it was ours. So, and Petercraft, on the other hand, had one of our villages. He had Village 10, remember, when he just randomly took this over? So yeah, we wanted that back. So what we did was, we went from the Green Plateau, and we went over to Village 10. So yeah, we just sailed up the Deaston River here, and yeah, so we went to Village 10, and Kaboominator went to Village 12 to take it back. So this was kind of a weird battle. It was kind of like a village exchange, so to speak. So yeah, he just went to his village here. So both of these battles, both of the efforts, were actually won. Kaboominator got his village back, and we got our village back. But so the number of villages that we all owned didn't really change. It was just that it was like it was a switcheroo. So yeah, so we were in kind of a stalemate, because we had won back our village, he had won back his village, and we still had a few more villages, but he had kind of weakened us, but we had also weakened them, because a lot of people their resources had been depleted. So yeah, we were in a stalemate. and we thought that the thing we should do is just have a final battle between these villages to see who would win. And yeah, we didn't really agree on the terms of like surrender if one of us lost it, but we had a final battle, and Petercraft, he was still here. He wasn't on the whole march thing. So Petercraft came up from his plateau, yeah, and he participated in the final battle too. So yeah, he went here. Kaboominator went here from Village 12, and yeah, we went from Village 10. So yeah, we are all about to be in this final battle, and I'm happy to say that in the final battle we crushed them. We actually was losing at first, but the way to win a battle here is basically whoever you destroy the other person's beds, and like whoever's the last team standing wins. So it was 4 against 4. We survived with not one but 2 of ours standing, and they all went back to the spawn. They all died. So there was a battle here. It was won by the Green Plateau. And this, actually, the reason I'm here, this was the site of the final battle. This was our airship that we used. And Petercraft's airship, well, it's not there anymore, really. But yeah, this is where the final battle took place. And, like, Village 12 is over there, now it's called something else. And Village 10 is over there, it's also called something else. Village 12 is now called Oasis, and Village 10 is now called Jornaya, because I converted all the villages into provinces. But anyway, back to the story. So right after that, Kaboominator did something really surprising. Everyone was at the spawn. So, what he did was he turned on Petercraft and trapped him in a cage with no resources left. So yeah, Kaboominator, but the thing he did was he kind of blamed Petercraft's sudden disappearance on our side. So the entire Blue Plateau thought that we, like, trapped Petercraft, imprisoned him. So it's the equivalent of him dying, really, because there was nothing he could do. But Kaboominator, as deputy of the Blue Plateau, he became leader. And right when he became leader, he surrendered to us on the condition that he could just keep his territory. So all this territory was returned back to us. And yeah, it was just like in the beginning, and the Plateaus lived somewhat peacefully. So what we did was we planned the Hunger Games, in which one person from each village would represent the village, and, well, not each village, the top 8 villages, the top 8 most productive villages would participate in the Hunger Games, and it was just kind of like a way to get the villages going. So I was learning to live with this. I mean, I kind of wish that the whole thing could be ours again, the entire world, but it was good that at least there was no one trying to destroy us. So yeah, that was pretty good. But after like a few months, there was Village 9. Remember, Village 9 was really owned by no villages, because we hid it from Petercraft, but we also ended up hiding it from ourselves. Not hiding it, but we couldn't really use it if it was covered in dirt. So what happened was this went from a neutral village to a completely separate government. Yep. So this guy named Bricklayer, he just joined randomly, and he took over this village. Well, not took over, but drove Mr. 37 out of it, because Mr. 37 didn't really care because he couldn't use this village. So yeah, he made this his own little thing here. And he also took over Village 7, because since the Blue Plateau couldn't really use this because it wasn't their territory anymore. So basically, oops, I did not mean to do that. Just draw this here. Yeah, so all the far west territory, like all this area became part of this new thing, and Bricklayer called this place the Dark Plateau. And dark meaning like not belonging to either color, not belonging to either green or blue, just like colorless. So we called it the Dark Plateau, and yeah, he had his own territory over here. So now there were 3 plateaus, but there was no war for this. He just kind of did it. But like literally a week after that, Petercraft broke out of prison. No, we didn't know at the time how he did that, but the point was he broke out of prison. He was really mad. And Kaboominator was really scared by this, because if Petercraft were to return to the Blue Plateau, he would tell everyone that it was Kaboominator that imprisoned him, not us. So Petercraft made his way back over on a new ship. It wasn't much, but it was a ship. So he made his way back over through this. There are a lot of lines here, and he had made it all the way to the Ares Bay. So we thought we'd build a ship of our own, and Pinecone, actually made a really good move in this. She was the hero of this. She wasn't at the battle, but she designed a TNT cannon that was really powerful, but we didn't know exactly how powerful at the time until we really used it. But yeah, so we met them here. So we saw Petercraft's ship with Petercraft's flag, but Petercraft wasn't on the ship. It was Bricklayer, the leader of the Dark Plateau. And he was the only one in his plateau, so we were like, oh, why are you here? And he was like, I'm just a mercenary hired by Petercraft. So, I don't know why the purpose of this was for Petercraft to get back to his plateau, so why did he need, like, to hire someone to just maybe destroy our ship? We were confused, but this guy was attacking us. What we found really strange was he had virtually no defense, so with Pinecone's amazing TNT cannon, we were able to just wipe out his ship, and yeah, we sank it. Well, not really sank, because nothing sinks in Minecraft, but we blew it up. But what we didn't know was that the ship was nothing but a diversion, because Petercraft actually was on the ship. We just didn't know it at the time. He was in a secret, like, underground bunker, and while we were distracted by Bricklayer, he snuck out, went underwater, and dug a tunnel. Now, digging a tunnel takes quite a while. Let me just put the victory star here. Digging a tunnel takes quite a while, and it took like a week for him to dig all the way to the Blue Plateau. Also, he didn't really have a map with him, so he made a bunch of wrong turns, I assume. At least, I thought so, because the tunnel was going like zigzagging in a billion ways. But yeah, he dug under, and eventually he got to the Blue Plateau. He took it back. He told everyone what Kaboominator did, and Kaboominator was banished from the Blue Plateau. He joined our side. So I was really scared. I was expecting Petercraft to go right back and declare war on us again. But then Bricklayer in the neutral Dark Plateau, well, wasn't really neutral, but he was just hired by Petercraft. Yet he suggested a peaceful dinner in the Dark Plateau. So we were like, okay, so then we discussed those terms. So I found out right after that Petercraft was working with Kronos. That's when I found it out. And yeah, so at the dinner, I tried to discuss it with him, like, why were you talking with Kronos? But at the dinner, it was like we were all served the same food, so I thought, what's the problem? But they poisoned the food with a poison that only affects me. I'm actually a bird. You can tell I'm a red-headed woodpecker. I got like a beak and feathers. And yes, so since I'm a bird, avocado is actually poisonous to me, but it wasn't poisonous to any of them. But yeah, a Bricklayer fed me avocado, and yeah, it was kind of got into my Minecraft account because I'm a bird, because of my skin, and I was slowly dying. So yeah, I found out that Petercraft had hired Bricklayer once again, and yeah, I thought I was doomed because I tried like killing my Minecraft player. I tried like resetting the account. Nothing worked. The free Shavakadu was killing me. But Kaboominator, who had just been banished, he rejoined the Green Plateau just then, and with his weird medical strategies, he cured me of my poisoning. Basically, it involved him shearing my feathers. It was really embarrassing. If you want to know the science of it, watch the video. But yeah, he ended up somehow curing it. And after that, I released the video or audio recording I heard of Petercraft working with Kronos, and everyone on his side, they left and they like apologized for ever like joining the Blue Plateau because they were guilty because most of them had watched season 1. They knew what a bad guy Kronos was. So yeah, so they went back to the they went back to the Green Plateau, sorry. Went back to the Green Plateau, and we attacked the Blue Plateau, all of us once and for all. We blew it up. And yeah, so that was that, and after that, since like the Dark Plateau is just like a tiny strip of area here, they mostly just said forget it, and like, okay, Green Plateau, you can have world domination, but the cherry on top there, the icing on the cake, or whatever metaphor you want to use, to top it off, someone in our plateau won the Hunger Games, and it was Nick from Village 5. So we had achieved what I had always wanted, which was world domination, at least in this Minecraft world. And yeah, so the Dark Plateau was kind of forgiven, and they were converted into a province of their own, Tridonia. It took a lot of convincing to get them to follow the rules of the Green Plateau, but they eventually did. And now they're Tridonia, which it's a pretty good province, actually. Pretty good province to be in. The Blue Plateau, not so much. Their territory is split up into like 5 provinces, but their capital city, which not Petercraft's castle, but the city around it. That's a city right now. It's called Boomington. It's the capital of Kenaya, but the rest of Kenaya's territory was in the territory that was originally in the Green Plateau. So yeah, I tried to split it up. But anyway, guys, that's the end of this episode. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.